All right, guys, here is a quick review and lesson on solving systems of inequalities, okay? You already know how to graph inequalities. Now we are going to find out what we get when we graph systems of inequalities. All right, so here's our quick review. I'm going to go through these steps. If you need to pause and write down the steps, please feel free to do so. We're going to roll right through here. All right, so first thing that you do in step one is treat the inequality like an equation. So instead of concentrating on these symbols here, you're going to replace them and think of all of those symbols as an equal sign. Okay, you're going to do that and graph 2 points. Again, these are linear inequalities, so you're all going to have straight lines. All right, step 2 is determine if the line needs to be solid or dashed. Let me switch this around. I want that to be less than. If the line, what I tell my students is if you see a line in the inequality symbol, then you're going to graph a line, okay? So if you see a line in the inequality symbol, you're going to graph a line. If you don't, then your line is going to be dashed, okay? And step 2 is really just a matter of looking and seeing what you got. Okay, step 3 says that we are going to use a test point, usually 0, 0. Realize that these are x and y values to determine which side of the line to shade. Okay, if it's true, then we're going to shade with 0, 0, the side of the line that has that point, the origin point. If we get a false statement, then we're going to shade the other side, the side of the line that does not have the origin on it. Okay. Again, if you need to stop this to write down these steps, please feel free to do so. We're going to put these into action. All right. So step 1 in this graph is to, again, we can treat this like an equal sign, and we are just going to graph 2 points. My y-intercept is -3. So -3 is here, and my slope is 2 over 1. So I'm going to go up 2, 1, 2, over 1, up 2, 1, 2, right 1, up 2, right 1, and I can keep doing this, okay? So step 1 says to graph 2 points. Step 2 is determining what kind of line I have now that connects those 2 points. So let's look back at this. I have a line, so I'm going to be graphing a line. So I'll try to draw a line as straight as I can here. And my line looks something like that. Okay? All right, so I have a solid line. And if we look back at step 3 says to use a test point 0, 0 and determine which side of the line to shade. Okay, well, where is 0, 0? 0, 0 is the origin, okay? And we are going to shade one side of the line or the other side of the line. And we need to test whether or not if this is a solution. If we get a true statement for this test point, then we know it's this side to shade. If we do not, then we're going to shade the other side. So let's try it. Remember, 0, 0 is just an x, y coordinate. So we can just plug that in for x and y. So what I have is 0 is less than or equal to 2 times 0 plus -3. I like to add the opposite. So then I have 0 is less than 2 times 0 just gives me 0, -3. So I ask myself, is 0 less than or equal to -3? Well, we can look at a number line right here. 0 is here and -3 is here. So no, this is false. All right. So when you get a false statement, that means 0, 0 is not a solution. So we shade the other side of the line. So we shade the side that does not have that solution. Okay. Couple of things about your test point. All right. If your test point, or if your line rather, let's say that I had graphed this line instead, all right, and that line goes through 0, 0. Well, given that the line is solid, if I plug in 0, 0 to the equation of this line, I will get a true statement out. And I already know that because the line goes through it. So using the test point 0, 0 doesn't tell me which side of the line to shade. When this happens, when your line goes through the test point 0, 0, then you just have to pick a different point and make it easy. I would then choose maybe 1, 0, just something easy that you can plug in, some point that is just not on the line. All right. Now, solving systems of inequalities, this is really the heart of what we're talking about today. what is a system of inequalities? We've talked about systems of equations before, but what is a system of inequalities? Well, let's look. A system of inequalities is the same. If we're solving these, it's the same as graphing normal inequalities, but we do it twice, okay? And the double shaded region on the graph is our final answer, okay? So basically what we're going to be having is, look at here, we have two inequalities, and that's a system of inequalities, and all we're going to do is graph both of them on the same graph, and the double shaded region, the overlap, is going to be our solution. All right, so let's go through solving this system of linear inequalities here. All right, so both of these are solved for y, so I can start graphing right away. My y-intercept to this one is 1, so I'm going to go up to positive 1. My slope is negative 2, so that means I'm going to go down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, and I can go up the other way just to be a little bit more accurate. And if I look, I do not have a line here, so I am going to have a dashed line as my line. So the line is dashed. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to now test 0, 0, because 0, 0 is not on the line, so I can use it. So I'm going to have 0 is greater than negative 2 times 0 plus 1. All right, so I have 0 is greater than 2 times 0 is 0, 1. Is 0 greater than 1? Obviously not. So that means that we are going to be shading the opposite side of the line, the side that doesn't have 0, 0. So my shading now happens over here. All right. Now let's do the next one. I'll use a different color here. And pick a different thickness. All right. So now I'm going to graph this one. I got a y-intercept of negative 2. So there's my y-intercept, and a slope of positive 3. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, right 1, 1, 2, 3, right 1. And notice I'm already in the other area. I'll go the other way. 1, 2, 3, left. And if I look at this one, I see a line, so I'm going to graph a line. So that's what my line looks like. And now I'll test 0, 0 over here. I have 0 is less than or equal to 3 times 0 plus negative 2, because I like to have the opposite. That gives me 0 is less than or equal to negative 2. Is 0 less than or equal to negative 2? No, it's not. Okay, so that means I'm going to shade the side that does not have 0, 0, which is this side over here, and now look what happens. I would have a double shaded region. Okay, the shaded region, the part of my answer that is the solution, is the overlap. So the overlap here is everything that I have now shaded in yellow. Okay, so any point in this area, I could plug into both inequalities and get a true statement out. Okay, so that's a quick example on how to solve a system of linear inequalities. Hopefully that was helpful, and we will cover more of this in class. If you want to access the video, you can access it at any time. I just wanted to leave you here with this little foxtrot cartoon. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.